Before sunrise, the world was quiet. No cars, no voices, only the soft sound of breathing. The student woke up not because he felt strong or motivated, but because he was tired of failing his mornings. For years, his days started the same way. The alarm rang. He hit snooze. 5 minutes became 30. 30 became 1 hour. When he finally opened his eyes, the day was already chasing him. He checked his phone first. Messages, videos, news. His mind became loud before his body even moved. He rushed to get ready. He skipped planning. He promised himself, I will fix my routine tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. Every night, he felt the same pain. I work hard, but nothing changes. I start strong, then I fall. I know what to do, but I don't do it. This was not laziness. This was a broken routine. One morning, something different happened. He woke up earlier than usual, not by choice, but because he could not sleep. His mind felt heavy. He sat on the edge of his bed and stared at the floor. That was the moment he realized something important. His life was not out of control because he was weak. His life was out of control because his mornings were weak. Later that day, while searching for answers, he found an old idea, not a modern hack, not a motivation speech. It was a samurai teaching. The words were simple. Win the first battle of the day, and the rest becomes easier. The student did not fully understand it, but the sentence stayed in his mind. The next morning, he decided to try something new. Not a big change, not a perfect routine. Just one rule. Wake up and do not touch the phone. The alarm rang. His hand moved toward the phone. Then he stopped. His mind screamed, just 5 minutes. His body felt heavy, but he remembered the words, first battle. He sat up. The room was still dark. His eyes felt tired, but for the first time, he felt present. He stood near the window and took a slow breath. Then another. Then another. No music, no noise, just breathing. This was the dawn ritual. The samurai believed that mornings were sacred, not because of work, but because of control. The student learned the first rule. Do not rush into the day. Step into it. He added one more small action. He stretched his body for 2 minutes. Nothing hard, just simple movement. Shoulders, neck, back. His body slowly woke up. Then he took a pen and a small notebook. He wrote one sentence. Today, I will complete one important task. Not 10 tasks. Not a long list. Just one. This was the second rule. Clarity before chaos. Most people lose their day because they never decide what matters. The student closed a notebook and smiled. It felt small, but it felt powerful. The first day was not perfect. He still felt tired. He still got distracted later. But something changed. He won the first battle. The second day, it got easier. The third day, it felt normal. By the fourth day, he noticed something strange. His mind felt calm in the morning. He was not rushing. He was not angry. He started his work earlier. He finished one task fully. Not fast, but fully. The samurai method was not about speed. It was about presence. One morning, the student failed. He woke up late. He touched his phone. He felt disappointed. For a moment, he wanted to quit. Then he remembered another samurai rule. A warrior does not quit because of one bad day. He stood up. He breathed. He stretched. Even if the ritual started late, he still did it. This taught him a deep lesson. A routine does not need perfection. It needs return. Each morning, he returned to the ritual. Wake up. Breathe. Stretch. Write one intention. No pressure. No motivation. Just discipline. Slowly, his identity began to change. He was no longer someone who wanted a routine. He was someone who followed one. People around him noticed. You look calm, they said. You seem focused. They did not know his secret. It was not talent. It was not luck. It was the first 10 minutes of his day. The samurai believed that how you start determines how you fight. The student now understood, but his journey was not complete. Winning the morning was only the beginning, because once the sun rose higher, a new enemy appeared. Distraction, noise, A busy world. In the next part, the student would learn how to hold focus like a blade and how to cut through the chaos of the day. The student had learned how to win his mornings. He woke up with more control. He breathed. He stretched. He wrote one clear intention. For the first time in years, his day did not start in panic. But as the sun climbed higher, a new problem appeared. His focus began to break. At first, he did not notice it. He sat at his desk and started working. 5 minutes later, he checked his phone. Just one message. 10 minutes later, he opened another tab. Just one thing. Soon, 1 hour was gone. He looked at the clock and felt the old pain again. I started well, he thought. So why am I still behind? That night, he felt confused. The morning ritual worked, but the day was still slipping away. The next day, while walking outside, he remembered another samurai teaching. A warrior does not swing wildly. He strikes once with full focus. The student realized something important. His problem was not time. His problem was scattered attention. He tried to do everything at once. The samurai did not fight like that. They used one blade, one strike, one target. That evening, the student changed his plan. The next day, after his morning ritual, he did something new. He chose one mission. Not a long list. Not many goals. Just one task that mattered the most. He wrote it clearly. Finish this task before anything else. Then he looked at his phone and turned it face down. His heart felt uncomfortable. What if someone needs me? What if I miss something? His mind was noisy, but he remembered the rule. One blade, one fight. He set a timer for 45 minutes. No music, no messages, no switching. Just work. The first 10 minutes were hard. His body wanted to move. His hand wanted the phone. His mind wanted escape. This was the real battle. Not with work, but with himself. At minute 15, something changed. The noise slowed down. His thoughts became clear. He was inside the task. At minute 30, he felt strong. He was no longer forcing focus. Focus was happening. When the timer rang, he stopped. He stood up. He breathed. The task was not fully finished, but real progress was made. For the first time, his work felt deep. This was a samurai focus block. The rule was simple. Choose one task. Set a fixed time. Remove all distractions. Work until the timer ends. No multitasking. No jumping. That day, he did 2 focus blocks. Just 2. And something surprising happened. He finished more work than on most busy days. He was tired, but satisfied. That night, he slept better. The next days, he repeated the practice. Some days were good. Some days were hard. One afternoon, during a focus block, his phone vibrated. His hand moved without thinking. He picked it up. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. The focus was gone. He felt angry with himself. He wanted to quit the method. But then he remembered another samurai truth. A broken stance is not failure. Not returning is. He placed the phone in another room. He restarted the timer. Even though the block was not perfect, he finished it. This taught him a powerful lesson. Focus is not about never failing. Focus is about returning quickly. The student also learned another rule. Do not make focus blocks too long. Some days, 25 minutes was enough. Other days, 60 minutes worked. The samurai adjusted their stance to the battle. So he listened to his energy. Slowly, his confidence grew. He stopped saying, I can't focus. He started saying, I know how to focus. People around him noticed again. You finish things faster, they said. You seem serious now. But the student knew the truth. It was not speed. It was depth. He was no longer cutting the air. He was cutting the target. But after 1 week, a new problem appeared. By evening, his energy dropped. His mind felt empty. His body felt weak. Even with focus, he felt tired. He realized something important. A blade without care becomes dull. Focus alone was not enough. He needed strength. He needed support. He needed small wins that build power across the day. That night, he looked at his notebook. Morning ritual, strong. focus blocks, working. But between them, there were gaps, moments where he lost energy, moments where he gave up too easily. The samurai did not rely on one strike. They built strength step by step. The student understood. In the next part, he would learn how tiny habits create unstoppable momentum, how small actions build armor, how to stay strong even when motivation is gone. Because a true warrior is not strong once. He is strong every day. The student now knew how to start his day. He had learned the dawn ritual. He had learned how to use focus like a blade. Yet something was still missing. Some days, he felt strong. Other days, he felt empty. By afternoon, his energy dropped. His body felt heavy. His mind wanted to stop. He asked himself a hard question. If I know what to do, why do I still feel weak? One evening, he sat quietly and looked at his notebook. Morning ritual, working. Focus blocks, working. But between them, the day felt long. That night, he remembered another samurai teaching. A warrior is not strong because of one victory. He is strong because of many small ones. The student finally understood. He was depending too much on big effort. Big effort breaks. Small effort continues. The next morning, after his ritual, he changed his plan. He stopped trying to be perfect. He decided to collect small wins. The first rule was simple. Start small, very small. Instead of saying, I will work for 2 hours, he said, I will work for 2 minutes. 2 minutes felt easy. No fear, no pressure. He started the task. After 2 minutes, something happened. He continued. This was the 2-minute rule. The samurai believed that movement creates power. Stillness creates doubt. The student used this rule again and again. When he did not want to work, he worked for 2 minutes. When he felt lazy, he moved for 2 minutes. When he wanted to quit, he stayed for 2 minutes. Most of the time, 2 minutes became more. The second rule came next. Attach habits together. The samurai stacked actions like armor plates. The student looked at his daily actions. Morning tea, lunch, evening rest. He attached one small habit to each. After morning tea, he reviewed his main task. After lunch, he walked for 5 minutes. After dinner, he wrote one sentence about the day. Nothing big, but it added structure. This was called habit stacking. No thinking, no deciding. One action led to the next. Days became smoother. The third rule was powerful. Make progress visible. The samurai marked their training. The student drew simple boxes in his notebook. Each small win got 1 mark. 2 minutes of work. Mark. Focus block. Mark. Walk. Mark. At the end of the day, he saw proof. He was not lazy. He was moving forward. This changed how he felt. Motivation did not come first. Progress did. Some days were hard. One day, he felt tired and skipped many things. Only one small win happened. He felt disappointed. Then he remembered. Armor is built one piece at a time. Even one win mattered. The next day, he returned. Another lesson came with time. Energy is not managed by force. It is managed by rhythm. The student stopped pushing all day. He worked in waves. Work, rest, move, breathe. Even 5 minutes of rest helped. The samurai respected recovery. Without recovery, strength disappears. The student also learned to remove friction. If something was hard to start, he made it easier. Notebook on the desk. Phone in another room. Water ready. Small changes. Big effect. After 2 weeks, something changed deeply. He no longer waited for motivation. He trusted the system. Small wins gave him confidence. Confidence gave him energy. Energy created more wins. This was momentum. People think momentum comes from big success. The samurai knew better. Momentum comes from showing up. One afternoon, something tested him. A busy day. No energy. Many problems. The old version of him would quit. This time, he did one thing. One small action. He opened the notebook. He worked for 2 minutes. That was it. But that small action saved the day. He did not fall back to zero. That night, he felt proud. Not because the day was perfect, but because he did not break the chain. The student now felt protected, not by strength, but by consistency. His armor was forming. Yet another challenge waited. The world around him, people, noise, interruptions. His system worked in silence, but life was loud. The samurai trained in dojos. The student needed his own. In the next part, he would learn how to build rules around his time, how to protect his routine from the outside world, how to say no without guilt, because a warrior without boundaries is a warrior without defense. The student was stronger now. His mornings were calm. His focus was sharp. His small wins gave him energy. But one problem remained. The world. No matter how strong his routine was, life kept interrupting him. One morning, just as he started his focus block, his phone rang. A message from a friend. A request from work. A sudden task. His focus broke. He felt the old frustration return. I am doing everything right, he thought. So why is this still hard? That evening, while walking alone, he remembered a samurai teaching. A warrior trains in a dojo, not to escape the world, but to face it with rules. The student understood. The samurai did not rely only on willpower. They relied on structure. They protected their training with discipline. The next day, the student decided to build his own dojo, not a physical place, but a system. The first rule of the dojo was time. He looked at his day. Before, his time was open. Anyone could enter. Now, he drew blocks. Morning, deep work. Midday, light tasks. Evening, rest and reflection. He wrote these blocks on a calendar. When time had a shape, it became real. The second rule was signals. The samurai used signs to show when training could not be disturbed. The student chose simple signals. Headphones on, do not disturb. Door closed, focus time. Phone face down, no interruptions. At first, it felt strange, but soon people understood. They stopped interrupting him without reason. The third rule was permission. Before, he said yes to everything. Every request, every meeting, every favor. It drained him. Now, he used one simple question. Is this important right now? If the answer was no, he delayed it. This was not rude. It was respectful to his time and energy. The samurai did not fight every battle. They chose wisely. One day, someone asked him to join a meeting during his focus time. He felt nervous. Old fear returned. What if they think I am lazy? What if they get angry? But he stayed calm. He replied, I can help later today. Nothing bad happened. The world did not end. This small moment changed him. The fourth rule was end-of-day closure. Before, his days ended in chaos. Now, he created a short closing ritual. At night, he asked himself 3 questions. What did I do well today? What was hard? What is one thing for tomorrow? 5 minutes. That was enough. His mind rested better. His sleep improved. But the dojo was tested. One afternoon, everything went wrong. Urgent tasks. Loud noise. No control. He lost focus. He felt tired. The old habit of quitting returned. Then he remembered. A dojo is tested on bad days, not good ones. He did not try to save the whole day. He saved one block, one small win. That was enough. The next day, he reviewed what failed. He adjusted the dojo rules. He moved focus blocks earlier. He reduced evening work. He simplified plans. The samurai adjusted their stance. The student adjusted his system. Weeks passed. The dojo became strong. His routine no longer depended on mood. It depended on rules. He felt free, not because he had no limits, but because his limits protected him. People around him noticed again. You are more organized, they said. You don't seem stressed. They saw results, but they did not see the dojo, the quiet rules, the invisible walls. The student now had morning control, focus, momentum, and structure. But something remained. Life is not stable. Some weeks are heavy. Some days are broken. What happens when everything fails? The samurai had an answer. In the final part, the student would learn how to make his routine last forever, how to review, adjust, and return. Because true discipline is not about control. It is about continuation. The student had built something strong. He had a calm morning ritual. He had sharp focus. He had small wins that gave him energy. He had a dojo that protected his time. From the outside, his life looked controlled. But life is never perfect. One week, everything fell apart. He got sick. Work pressure increased. Sleep was poor. His routine broke. One morning, he woke up late. No breathing. No stretching. No notebook. The old fear returned. I lost it, he thought. All my progress is gone. For a moment, he felt like giving up. Then he remembered the final samurai teaching. A warrior is not the one who never falls. He is the one who always returns. The student sat quietly. He did not blame himself. He did not rush. He did one small thing. He breathed once. That was enough to begin again. This was the way of return. The samurai knew something modern people forget. Failure is part of the path. What matters is not avoiding failure. What matters is coming back. The student decided to build a system that could survive bad days. The first rule was weekly reflection. Once a week, he sat with his notebook. He asked 3 simple questions. What worked this week? What did not work? What is one small change for next week? No judgment. No long writing. Just honesty. This helped him see patterns. He stopped repeating the same mistakes. The second rule was short experiments. He stopped changing everything at once. He tested small changes for 1 week. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. 1 less focus block. More rest in the evening. If it helped, he kept it. If not, he removed it. The samurai trained this way. Test. Observe. Adjust. The third rule was accountability. He shared his plan with one person. Not for pressure. For presence. Someone who asked, "Did you show up today?" This simple question kept him grounded. The fourth rule was self-respect. Before, he punished himself for bad days. Now, he practiced compassion. When he failed, he said, "Today was hard. Tomorrow, I return." This changed everything. Shame breaks routines. Kindness repairs them. Slowly, his identity changed again. He was no longer chasing motivation. He was walking a path. The samurai did not rush to the end. They walked with patience. Months passed. His life was not perfect, but it was stable. He completed projects. He slept better. He felt present. The routine became invisible. It was no longer something he forced. It was how he lived. One evening, he looked back at his old self, the one who woke up late, the one who felt lost. He smiled, not with pride, with gratitude. The system saved him, not by making him strong once, but by making him return again and again. The samurai method was not magic. It was simple. Win the morning. Focus deeply. Collect small wins. Protect your time. And always return. The student understood the final truth. A routine that works is not strict. It is forgiving. He closed his notebook. Tomorrow, he would wake up. He would breathe. He would move. He would choose one thing. Not because he was perfect, but because this was his way. And anyone could follow it if they chose to return. The end.